Alright, hello everyone, it's Acro, and today we're looking at Bitcoin because we are finally entering the final stages of the bear market, and it's that time of the year where anytime soon we could find a bottom and start a brand new cycle to the upside and never revisit those prices again. And in this video, we'll focus on the shorter timeframes to find out what's the most likely path in the coming days and weeks. We'll do that with the help of the most relevant indicators, and throughout the video, we'll even see that there is a specific zone here that's right below us. And if we were to reach it, it could produce a massive bounce, potentially all the way up to 75k. And if it's the case, there's a decent chance we might never revisit these prices again. So make sure to not miss any part of the video because it will be packed with very useful information. Alright, so let's start things off by zooming out, going on the weekly time frame, and pulling up this indicator here. It's the Bitcoin rainbow wave. And it's very nice to get a macro view of where we are in the cycle. Because here we are at the bottom of the wave, we are at the bottom of the rainbow lines, and look how close we are to the purple line, which historically has been the bottom of every prior bear market, as you can tell here. So this indicator is really telling us that this area where we are now is probably a massive opportunity, and it's not a zone where we should be looking for lower, but we should be looking for a bottom here. Now let's take a look at another very powerful indicator that is actually used by algorithms and market makers, and it's the 200 simple moving average here in yellow. It's a major level, and on the weekly time frame here, it has coincided with the bottom of the bear markets each and every time. And right now we are in this zone where it acts as a strong support, and it's fine to quickly go below it. But we really don't want to see a lot of candle closes below the 200 simple, because once below it becomes resistance, and usually there's a bearish continuation. That's exactly what happened last cycle, where when we started to close below it, it led to another drop in the coming months. But so far we're still holding on, so it's great to see. And another great reason why we are most likely going up rather than making new lows is here at the bottom I have the RSI, and there is a divergence here where we make higher lows on the RSI and lower lows on price. And usually such a strong divergence should produce at least a great bounce. It really seems like this move is not finished yet and will be going higher next. So overall, the weekly is pointing at us going up from here. Now, if we dive in on the most recent price action, over here at the bottom I have the stochastic indicator, which is very good at spotting the local bottoms on the price. And in particular, going down to the 20 level on the stochastic has historically coincided with the bottoms on price action all the way through in this bear market. So when we look at where we are now, today is the 16th of August, and you can tell how we're missing just a few more days to the downside before this indicator can reset and go higher. So the stochastic is telling us that we should be expecting a bottom around the 22nd or 23rd of August. And there's actually an extremely interesting behavior that's been happening in the past few weeks on Bitcoin that has never happened ever since we topped out in October of 2025. And it's the fact that we are going down, but very slowly, almost sideways. But notice how in bear markets, we usually go straight down and then we slowly go up. This time around, it's the opposite, where we slowly go down. And to me, this looks a lot like a consolidation pattern, kind of like we have over here. And usually they tend to break out higher like here. So that's another very good argument for why we might be going a bit lower now, but then probably break to the upside very quickly. So now let's take a closer look at what's happening on the daily time frame. And to help us with that, here's probably the greatest tool for navigating through the current bear market. And it's simply a channel where each line has been quite a strong support and resistance all along the bear market. And really the bull market can only begin if we start to break up from the red line here. But it's an amazing tool for the short-term price action. As you can see here recently, we have exactly rejected at the yellow line. And notice how if we continue to go down, the next logical support will be the green line. And recently, this green line here has been a very strong resistance at this point here, here and there. And in markets, a strong resistance, once it retested, becomes a very strong support. And that's when it gets very interesting because this zone right here at around 60k has a lot more confluence, and it's actually the bottoming zone I've been talking about in the beginning of the video, and I'll show you exactly why right now. So in my previous video, make sure to check it out. We have looked over what are the most powerful pitchforks on Bitcoin, and this is one of them, taken from this low to this high to this low. And we have noticed how the price likes to slightly deviate away from the pitchfork. And actually there are specific levels here in yellow and orange, and historically they are extremely well correlated with the tops on price. Same thing here, it was the bottom. And when we go back, once again, here it's been a massive resistance and here a great support. So that's a very strong pitchfork, especially the exterior bands here. And we've also looked at another strong one that is taken from this low here instead of the low there. And here, once again, you can notice how price likes to deviate away and then come back into the pitchfork at the bottom and at the top. And here once more, there is a specific zone here between the light and dark pink that has been associated with these tops and bottoms on price. And if I put the other pitchfork back on, you can notice how they are clearly different, but they are both very powerful. And here's when the magic happens, because look at where we are right now. You can tell how the yellow and the pink are very close to the current price action. And if we zoom in on the daily, here they are. And now we can see how everything we've seen so far with the stochastic creates this coherent picture where we have a lot of different levels. So we have the bearish channel here in green. We have the two strong pitchforks in pink and yellow. We have the stochastic going down. And to give you an idea of price, it's once again somewhere between 60 and 59K. Now, of course, we could actually never get there and bottom a bit higher than that. It's possible. And as we've seen before on the macro time frame, it's more logical for us to go up than down. And if we start going up, then the next obvious targets are the orange line there. And the big one is the red line that once broken will probably mark the end of the bear market. So make sure to subscribe to not miss the tops and bottoms, because I will be updating you whenever we hit these major levels on price. And make sure to go check out my last video where I take a deep look at pitchforks and how powerful they can be at predicting tops and bottoms. And other than that, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. That was Acro. Bye.